Had HPCL that reacted to its numbers, Vodafone Idea. Remember, there was an exceptional loss item and the company's losses widened sequentially. IHCL or Indian Hotels, that too was another candidate that came out with its numbers, and an EBITDA loss is what it delivered. Within the broader universe, lots of fervor in Honeywell. You had Indiabulls Ventures spiking up, Delta Corp, RBL Bank, Bayer Crop Sciences, as well as Hindustan Zinc firmly in the green. Apollo Tyres has had a good run. KEI as well as Bombay Dyeing have been some of the other outperformers. Kaplan Point shrugs off gains, looking a little tempered. Lupin in the red after its earnings. PI Industries, something like Repco Home as well as Phoenix Mills and Walcott, those two have been some of the losers for today's trading session. But all in all, it's been a fairly encouraging close for the equity markets. You also had the big monetary policy event coming out, as well as a whole host of earnings that were delivered. Come next week, and it's going to be focused on lots more numbers. Hiromoto, Eicher, BPCL, NTPC, Titan, Power Grid, as well as Adani Port, some of the primary names that will be delivering their earnings today, next week. But that pretty much sums up what's been a fairly encouraging session. You've had some of the other names that have managed to be in focus, which include Z Entertainment snapping that 5-week losing streak, Bajaj Finance snapping the 3-week losing streak, and Tech Mahindra, which has snapped the 6-week gaining streak on the flip side. A gain of about 1%. Metals have been at the forefront for the index. You've got the Nifty Bank, which gained about 0.5%. RBL Bank has been an outperformer. The mid-cap index has posted its best week since 7th of June, and the small-cap index has risen for the 3rd straight week on the trot. Dr. Narayan, let's get in your sum up as to how you've looked at the markets as we've closed in on 11,200.
Well, the takeaway for the week is definitely two things. One is the continued dominance of activity within the small cap, mid cap area, which actually I would wager that it has picked up even further from what it was in the previous week. Surfeit of names which were up and about, and quite substantially too. So that's always good for stoking the sentiments up even further. Second is that the Nifty continued to maintain its upward trend, and 11,200 used to be a bit of a bugbear for quite some time. Now that has been exceeded, and it has even managed a weekly close now about that. So the Nifty continues to move up. Reliance was not too much of a contributory in the last couple of days, but the way it has been holding firm at the current levels, I do believe that it's quite distinctly possible that Reliance could get back into the action next week, as would the IT stocks. So if these two things were to happen, then I do believe that the pathway for the Nifty would be considerably east to the upside. What was disappointing for the week is the failure of the Bank Nifty to still perform the entire banking pack, as it were. I think the Bank Nifty held across the whole week in a small, not just this week, across I would think multiple weeks. It's been now holding across a small range of about 1,000 points, around 21,000 plus minus a couple of 100 points, and 22,000 again plus minus a couple of 100 points. I think that's been the range that it has maintained now for well over, I think, 6-8 weeks. So clearly something has to give here. Either it has to break down or break out to the top side. My expectation is that it will require some news flow to create that breakout or breakdown. So that is something to look forward in the next week. Seeing it has been a good outing for most people in this week. So let's all look forward to the coming week with equal amount of expectations.